All right, here are your Washington Commanders. Some things you're going to know about. You're going to have to know about with the Commanders. I think the biggest problem, well, I should say this, one of the biggest problems I think that Dallas is going to have in this game is that the Commanders play about 65% of the time, no huddle.
Tempo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it last year, too.
Well, and that's going to be tough with all the rotations they love to do.
Exactly. We've had a couple of games where Dallas has had 12 men on the field, and as much as Dallas likes to run and try and keep everybody fresh, the Commanders are not going to let you do that. They run no huddle, and you can see it on the tape. They run no huddle 6 times more often than anybody else in the league.
Wow. Must have a young offensive line, huh?
Well,
bunch of fit guys.
They do a great job with it, though. They get the quarterback, gets them up there, and they get going. This offense, like I said,
I know when Chip Kelly tried that like 12 years ago or whatever that was,
yeah.
A lot of Eagles veterans were revolting.
Well, it's not really the youngest group. I mean, they have guys like Laramie Tunsil's part of this group. Tyler Broaddus is part of this group. Andrew Wiley is a veteran guy, but they
Gotta do
really,
your cardio.
He's a Wiley vet.
Where this offensive line will have struggles is on the right side.
The rookie?
Yeah. Josh Conley is from Oregon, right?
Uh-huh.
He has struggled. Now, we say this every week. Can you take advantage of an offensive tackle that when he doesn't move his feet? Now, he is a good athlete, and when he does move his feet, he can be effective. But there'll be snaps where you see the pass rush, where you look at all the pressures and sacks. It's been off that right side with Connerly. He's not a guy that he doesn't always move his feet. And I'm not saying slow-footed because I think overall he's a good athlete. I just feel like, though, when you watch him play, opponents have caught him where he sets and then where he needs to keep going back, he doesn't. He stops. And that's where guys have been able to take advantage of him and Andrew Wiley on that right side. So Dallas's left side, I say this every week, it's going to have to be, if you want to rush the passer, it's likely going to come off the right side, off the Commander's right side there, your left side. I would worry in this game. I know that Terry McLaurin, there's a chance he's going to come back. I think Deebo Samuel's playing pretty well for them. I would worry about Luke McCaffrey in this game. And I say that because he is a guy that they like to bring in motion. They like to put him in the slot. They kind of do a lot of things. They throw a screen to him. He is a pretty impressive player. He doesn't have huge numbers, but he could be a mismatch where I kind of feel like Dallas in this game, what I would like to see them do is just go ahead and play man coverage. Go ahead and try and match up with McLaurin. Go ahead and try and match up with Deebo Samuel, and then see if you can find a way to cover. This team likes to get in 11 personnel. That's the 3 wide receivers. That's how they run the ball the best. When you look at Krosky Merritt, the rookie running back, he was at New Mexico, transferred to Arizona. He was there for 1 year. He was a 7th round pick by the Commanders. But when they run the ball with him, it's usually an 11 personnel. This team also will run the ball out of what their jumbo package. They bring in extra linemen. They bring in extra tight ends. This is one of those games too where I looked at the numbers. I saw how much they do it. 44 of the 55 snaps they've done it, they've run the football. But this seems like to me one of those times you go jumbo package and they're gonna tendency break here. You're kind of halfway through the season. Everybody's kind of getting a gauge. Oh wow, they're in jumbo package stuff. And now we're going to break the tendency. We're not going to run. We're going to go play action. The thing about this quarterback running, too, you got to be aware of. Last year, him and Lamar Jackson were the two most when it came to designed runs, where the quarterback takes it. We've seen him some read options or maybe just straight runs. This guy's run the ball since he came back from injury, just design runs only 5 times. They've gained 1 yard with him running that ball that way. So they're not running him as much on those design runs. When I'm talking about the the RPO.
How much of a factor is the scrambling? Because they're at 5.5.
Scrambling is huge.
Yeah.
Scrambling is huge. And that's something that he's, even being nicked up, he's still scrambling quite a bit. This offensive line, what they do to you is, I mentioned the no huddle, but they also, Eric, you'll appreciate this. We talk about condensed formations and things like that.
Yeah.
This offensive line plays the widest of the splits of anybody in the league. So what they do is they're about 7 yards in width is when they're lined up. So what it does, it creates running lanes for their guys. So when you play like an inside technique, they're playing a half yard longer. And so now they're creating natural width to your defense just by alignment is what they're doing. So they're able to run the ball inside. They're effective running outside, but it also helps them with their pull game. They get their guys out in space and things like that. So it's going to be a challenge for Dallas because they're naturally, by the way they line up, they're going to spread Dallas's defense even thinner.
Yeah.
And then you could
tempt you to jump inside, go outside.
Exactly.
If you stay outside, they got all the room.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a team that's.
Is this new? Is this innovative? Or have teams been dorking around with this for a long time?
There's teams. Dallas last year was one of the, under Mike McCarthy, traditionally was the team that had the most width, one of the most width teams in the league. A team that plays opposite that is like the 49ers and the Rams. You've seen a little bit with what Shoddy's done. They played a little bit more condensed, but by playing wide, it creates natural gaps in your defense. So Cowboys have got it. They're already having trouble with their linebackers covering gaps and stuff like that. So you have to be very, very mindful of that as well. Where this quarterback has struggled, you play zone against him. You play too deep, he picks you apart. You play man coverage against him. He tends to be below a 50% passer is what he does. Zach Ertz has been the best player for them, in my opinion, down in the red zone. He's got 4 catches for 3 touchdowns. You could see them bring him in motion. They could play him as a wing. They sneak him out. So if they get down in the red zone, keep an eye on Zach Ertz. Also keep an eye on Luke McCaffrey. That's a couple of the guys that I really like down there. But, they run the ball really effectively with Krosky Murray. It's a lot like what Dallas does with the down blocks and the pulls and try and get him to the outside. So have to be aware of the splits, have to be aware of the no huddle stuff, and then have to be aware of them with the running the ball at 11 personnel. Me personally, I would try my best. I would stack the box on him and then just go man on the outside and try and match up with these guys. You got to be able to stop the run first here and get them to have to throw. And then when you get them to have to throw, you have to be ready to blitz this guy because that's where he has problems. Less than a 50% passer when you do that.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.